state government's plan to remove them.
The government on one side.
Dailies today.
Dailies today.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning on the show. Appreciate your being there all morning. Welcome to the second part of Dailies today. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Jimi Disu. Good morning.
You can watch this show on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. On Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM 99.3. And engage. Share the live link as well. Just share it with your network and let everybody join and watch the show this morning. Okay, now let's begin. Vanguard newspaper, page 5. Kebbi Kwara attacks halt Tinubu trips.
Okay, morning everybody. And I pray that we listen well to what one has to say this morning, because the times we're in are dire, very, very dire. Okay, so the president halted his trip. He wanted to go to South Africa and to go to, where was the other country now? He wanted to go to South Africa and Angola or so. And this was the last minute, because as at yesterday, when there was information that he was going, all the things that could have stopped him are already in place. So we don't know whether it was a security advice. We don't know whether there was a meeting in which he was advised that, look, the optics don't look good. In fact, you don't even know what you're going to meet there. And let me be very, very honest with you. The president's back is against the wall. And in a manner, without looking at his person or what he has done, I think the president needs our support at this very crucial time. The reason being that the damage could be collateral. The damage that could come from mishandling these various problems that we are facing could jolly well be collateral and affect everybody. Because there is more than meets the eye in these new incidents that are coming in. A lot of them have a bit of a trace of Jonathan, who has publicly accused the ex-president Obama of being responsible for his exit. The Chibok girls, it usually goes in that progression, and now it seems that Nigeria's back. The international front is against the wall. I mean, look at, as we speak, the NSA had to run to America yesterday. Was there yesterday in a series of meetings with them. We were turned back from an event, an international event where at least we would have given our own account. And whilst we have our various opinions, I hope we realize that Nigeria itself as a country is on trial, and Nigeria will reap whatever it sows as a country, irrespective of individual religions, idiosyncrasies, political leanings. On the political front, it doesn't look too good for the president either. The PDP incident and various incidents, and including something as small as, being accused of creating an environment in which on your mandate which shall stand is sung, or at least the tune is hummed, whatever it is, at a justices conference, also adds fuel. So what is the main problem? What is the main problem behind let's leave all these killings? When I say let's leave, I mean let's quickly put them aside and ask ourselves, what is the real problem? I think that the real problem is international politics, and it's politically motivated. We might have inadvertently applied the fuel. For example, Oga was reminding me, that's the man I'm pointing to on my right, was reminding me, the sheriff, was reminding me this morning that we had said, we had alerted the country to a lot of fears about something, for example, like the Muslim ticket is now being used against us. So we ask ourselves, what is going on? I think it's a lot of international politics. For reasons best known to me, and I'm sure known to Sheriff, I will not expand it because a lot of it is speculation. And one doesn't want to raise a fire or put petrol into a burning fire. But the situation calls for patriotism on the part of Nigerians. Yes, it calls for patriotism on the part of Nigerians because there is more than meets the eye in what is happening. But the president didn't go for the meeting. He took advice. Maybe somebody told him that Sheriff had said he should do
no.
And decided not to go. He didn't take advice. There's security breaches everywhere. There will be more. There will be more. Whoever is behind all this is not going to take his leg off the throttle.
Right.
Until we face whoever it is that is applying his leg on this throttle, it will be very, very difficult. So I'm talking beyond some of the facts we have on ground. Yes, it is true, Christians are being persecuted, Muslims are being persecuted, Southerners are being persecuted. Even amongst the Yorubas, non-Lagosians are being, I mean, it goes across the board. It goes across the board. But something really on the international front is happening. The president sent Shetima yesterday to Kebbi, at which he had gone himself, really, to issue a statement that he sent. You see, there are little. The president needs an overhaul. There are little nuances. When you use the word he sent his vice president, what it means is that it's not that important to him. And that is not true. It will be used against him at some point. He should have gone himself. A whistle stop should have done it. A whistle stop visit. And that Bayo Onanuga says that he's waiting to be given security reports and waiting for the vice president to come back. That is not good for the president at this current time. It's not good. It's not good. These two things do matter. But he says Shetima himself, when he got there, he said the president is deeply troubled by this tragedy. He shares your anguish and has sent me to assure you this is not a moment for politics. That is something the president should have been saying himself, because all eyes were on him yesterday and with the incident. And he says that this is a time for unity, for compassion, and for firm resolve in the face of evil. Our priority is singular and unflinching. Our daughters must return home safely. It's so sad that these young ladies are used as they're used as part of the instruments of what would I say now? They are used as part of the propaganda instruments. Believe me. Next thing you will hear now is that the girls have been used as a shield, so it's going to be difficult to flush them out as we would have likely to say, and that's the next stage we'll get into.
We're already there.
We're already there.
Yes, we're already there. Because they said that they actually know the location of those
but
people.
The girls
right
are there.
now, but the girls are
so
there.
I mean, we should be. I think that the president needs to consult beyond his inner circle or his cabinet. He needs to go out of his way to try and find people, Nigerians, who have the national spirit and know about these matters and who can find a way around it. But it will not be a full victory for Nigeria at the end of the day. We are going to have to compromise. The powers against us are more powerful than us. That is the honest to God truth. I'm sorry, I can only speak in innuendos. If you don't understand, ask your neighbor. If your neighbor doesn't understand, well, just sit back. But Nigeria is in a very dire situation. Very, very dire situation, and I think we need. I look at some of the reactions I'm getting here from Vanguard, where people talk on President Trump's threat of military intervention over alleged Christian genocide, and I see that we still don't understand what is going on. I believe that this country is being set up for something. That is notwithstanding the issues on ground. Notwithstanding, I believe we have given them the fire because you just need to take a reading of, and history is repeating itself. History is repeating itself in this. But I sympathize with the president. Honestly, I do. In as much as I have my feelings about him, I sympathize with him and I fear for my country. So that is my reaction to this one. We want to go on to the next story, which I think is related.
Let's go on to the next story, really. It's in the Vanguard page 8. We have a similar story here on page 33 of the Daily Trust as well. Genocide, Nigeria rejects U.S. troops, says Trump's narrative fueling more violence. In the Daily Trust, genocide, Ribadu leads delegation to U.S. congressman.
Okay, so let's look at the stories one by one. The federal government yesterday pushed back against what it described as dangerous and inaccurate Christian genocide narrative spearheaded by Donald Trump, saying Nigeria does not need foreign troops on the U.S. soil, does not need foreign troops on its soil, but targeted support from its partners and allies. Whether Nigeria likes it or not now, we are going to have to compromise and have a middle of the ground arrangement to get rid of this. That's the truth. He says Nigeria said that Nigerian armed forces are highly capable, experienced, and professional. Nigeria does not require foreign troops. In this, you do. You are going to need some foreign support. If you are not going to get it from America, you jolly well just get it from another country that's equally as strong, but it will have consequences. It's now time for us to face the reality. The problem we have with all these insurgents and so on and so forth is not. There's something behind. Okay, there's a big monster behind all this, and it's international politics. And the earlier we recognize, I think we do, because as we speak, Ribadu, like I said, is in the States, and is I'm sure he's going to come back with some kind of compromise. And the story talks about the FGS emphasizing that Boko Haram originated as a radical ideological sect that later grew influence along Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Northwest, and so on and so forth, rooted in illegal mining, cattle rustling, and control of natural resources. Akume offered a historical account of how weapons proliferation from the collapse of Libya in 2011 and instability in Egypt strengthened terrorist networks across the Sahel. Who was behind the crisis in Libya and the crisis in Egypt? That's a question for you to find out. This SDF also says Nigeria rejects any characterization of the conflict as a genocide against Christians or any group. Verified evidence shows that insurgents and criminal networks attack both churches and mosques, killing Muslims and Christians alike. We like I said, we have given them the fuel. We have given these people the fuel to burn us. And the story here says that Ribadu leads delegation to U.S. congressman. That is the beginning of negotiation. If you don't know, you better know now. The story says that genocide, Ribadu leads delegation to U.S. congressman. It says Nuhu Ribadu led a high-power delegation to the U.S. The allegation, over the allegation of Christian persecution in Nigeria, and they go into a history of it. And there's a paragraph that says, despite a series of attempts by the federal government to set the record straight, okay, the U.S. carried on with the belief that there is religious persecution in Nigeria. I don't know whether it's a belief or it's part of their strategy. On Tuesday, U.S. rapper Nicki Minaj was invited to the UN to testify against Nigeria in the alleged persecution of Christians. I'm adding the word surprisingly. Nigeria was not given the chance to be present at the event, a situation which the country protested over. I think that institution is also sinister. If you are going to have what's his name, Nicki Minaj make a presentation, the least you can do is allow us to defend ourselves. And so if that hasn't happened, then you should smell the rat. You know, it's time for Nigerians to do some introspection and deep thinking, in spite of your prejudices. Okay? But like I said, we also caused it. You don't have an American ambassador. You don't have a permanent representative at the UN. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have. So, if we've left the door open for this kind of thing, and the Charge Affairs Permanent Mission of Nigeria to the Union said the decision to exclude Nigeria from the discussion with held at UN headquarters in New York amounted to shaving our head in our absence. You don't understand the proverb there, my friend. we have created, because if we had full representation at these places, we wouldn't be treated with so much disdain. Okay, and the Minaj event was in collaboration with the permanent mission of the U.S. to the UN. Okay, but the Nigerian delegation took time to explain the crisis. It's not explaining the crisis really; it's to negotiate. Our backs are against the wall, but the delegation who went there are Bianca Ojukwu, Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General, then Chief of Defense Staff, and Chief of Defense Intelligence. Others are Idayat Hassan, Ambassador Babani, who is Director of Foreign Relations, UNSA, and a few other people. Okay, now, Moore, who announced the meeting in a social post, it was the Americans that announced the meeting, and he said today I had a frank, honest, and productive discussion with other members of the Nigerian government regarding the horrific violence and persecution Christians face and the ongoing threats terrorism poses across Nigeria. I made it crystal clear that the United States must see tangible steps. That means that the initiative is still with you. Okay? Must see tangible steps to ensure that Christians are not subject to violence, persecution, displacement, and death simply for believing in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We stand ready to work cooperatively with the Nigerians to help their nation combat terrorism perpetrated by Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militants against their population, specifically Christians in the northeast and middle belt regions, and so on and so forth. So, it's all part of it, to be honest with you, international politics. I wish I knew what they wanted. I wish Sheriff knew what they wanted. I wish Ribadu even knows what they want. I wish the president himself could boldly, at least if he won't tell anybody, tell Auntie Remy what these people want from him. Has he had a deal with them he's not fulfilled? Are they gunning for his head? I don't mean his head literally. I'm just saying, what is it that they really want? Does it have to do with our strong membership of BRICS? Does it have to do with the collapse of ECOWAS? Does it have to do that we are surrounded by military governments that are aided by Russia? We need to understand what the real problem is. I am not saying, please don't understand me very well, I am not saying that we don't have a problem with persecution of Christians. But what is the real problem? Because I'm a very, very cynical person, somehow I think that the kidnap of these two girls was strategic. It was done deliberately. And now our backs are against the wall. If we can't answer these questions, there'll be no resolution in sight. But it might have to call for sacrifice. On sacrifice on the part of Nigeria as a country, and certain persons too might have to sacrifice themselves somehow I don't mean they should kill themselves. I don't mean they should.
Just imagine, say this obodo whatsoever when to communicate with your people, not your day. Plus, where you no fit even shout for help. Business go they jam like hold up for Oshodi, and family they find each other like needle for inside sand. Now, waiting they happen with this. Anytime they vandalize our telecom mast and fiber optic cables. All this telecom equipment, no be ordinary pole and wire. Now, our lifetime, now be this so. Then they connect us, then they inform us, and they protect us. If them break them, no be only signal go vanish. Schools, hospitals, banks, and even your small POS business they collect. Make we join body protect our network. If you see any our report am sharp. Dial 622 or send email. Go protect@ncc.gov.ng. If everybody guide the port, soup no go burn. Our connection, our responsibility. This message now from mobile network operators and tower companies with support from the Nigerian Communications Commission.
Guy, how far? You watch that game?
I did. Oh boy, that goal, eh? Hey.
Make I call you back. My time go soon finish. Sorry, I forget I get extra 3 minutes to talk.
I wonder why you hold a cut call. When na MTN better gist you dey use. Me, I still dey enjoy my free 2,100 airtime on top my new MTN SIM.
Yes, so get 3 minutes extra on MTN Better Gist. Text BG to 312 to collect your own awoof.
Welcome back, and sincere apologies for the interruption there. We've got a few more minutes left on the show.
I just was warming up there.
Apologies. Let's take our last story this morning. Page 8 of The Guardian. Judges didn't sing Tinubu's anthem at conference.
Okay, a quick one. There's been a reaction from judges. We'll continue with this reaction of judges at 9 o'clock because I have a lawyer here, so we'll be able to see that. But there was a refutal yesterday that, yes, there was this part of the song on the mandate which I stand, but they were not responsible for it. It was the band from the presidency that when the president finished his speech, they were the ones who played that part. But what we expect of the Nigerian Judicial Council is to react to it formally to the government, to say that it has painted them in bad light. I like the fact that they have denied it, that they didn't sing it, which is the truth. Which is the truth. Not that they sang it, but it was played. But we want the NGI to react, to send a letter, a mild letter of protest to the presidency, so that they can alert and tell the band that these things are played only at political rallies for the APC. And I'm surprised that even the president himself is not worried that this kind of thing was played. I'm surprised he wouldn't have scolded them.
They cannot be worried about that. They'll probably be excited that it was played.
You think he was excited?
Of course. That's what I think, because why would they feel that they can play it anywhere?
Is this the two things that are creating the problems that we have today?
We have to go.
Lagos,
that's our show this morning. Stick around, Kofi returns in a moment.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stop?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
It's been me, my back, my body, my shoulder, with Salon Pass. When the back is on the pain you, with Salon Pass. When the body on the trouble you,
Salon Pass Pain Relief Patch provides effective relief for stubborn pain such as back pain, shoulder.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria